Hey, this is Red Band, and you're listening to the Death Squad Podcast Network. This episode of Your Mom's House and all the podcasts of Death Squad can be found at deathsquad.tv. I just wanted to take a quick second and thank you very, very much for everyone that's been helping me out, like by donating money, clicking on the shop link at deathsquad.tv, or buying items off the studio wish list. You know, I do this whole project. Death Squad is 100% on my free time. So I don't have any free time left. And so once in a while I get kind of, bummed out. And, without you guys constantly reminding me that you like what I'm doing, I don't think I could do this. So thank you very much. And I want everyone to have a happy holidays. Now, this podcast is a little different. This was not recorded in the studio, just like the last Tom Segura podcast, which was recorded in his car with a microphone up his asshole. This was recorded in a hotel room in Indiana. And this sounds a lot better than Tom's, but it's still, not a normal podcast. So I can't wait to get him back in the studio. And now here's Christina, coming to you live from a hotel room in Indiana on Your Mom's House.
Why, hello there, mommies. This is your main mommy, Christina Pajitsky, and I am coming to you not from our studios with Red Band and the other Tommy Mommy, but from a very glamorous, luxurious hotel/motel room in Indianapolis, Indiana. I just got here after quite possibly the longest and shittiest day I've had in a while. I got the call last night from United around 8 o'clock that the flight that I had planned to get to Indianapolis had been canceled. Because there's no direct flights to Indianapolis, so what they do instead is they make you connect in these terrible places. And originally, I had started in LA, I went to Chicago, and I was supposed to go from Chicago to Indianapolis. That was the plan, and instead they rerouted me. And I love when they reroute you, because it's always the most inefficient and stupidest way to travel. The message was like, we canceled your flight, but don't worry, we rerouted you through Dulles, Washington, and then you get like a cool 4-hour layover, and then it's back to Indianapolis. So that didn't make sense. I was on the phone all fucking night with borderline retarded / kind of not English speaking, but really nice people at Continental and United since they're merging. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. So it was awesome. I woke up at 3:45 this morning. I sat my ass down. I slept on the planes. I had a little girl tapping me and pulling on me, and that was fun. I slept through that. And then I waited 40 minutes for a car service to show up, and now I'm here. And I have about an hour until I have to get ready for showtime, which is so crazy to think that I have to actually talk to people in a meaningful way tonight. I have to entertain people when I look terrible and I feel just awful. I'm too old to do this. I'm 35 years old, and I look like I'm 75 just from all this travel. But the good news is, when I arrived at my hotel, there was a bunch of free pizza in the lobby. Who had some of that? I did. And I came here and I watched some Simpsons, chilled the fuck out. And, goddamn, what a life. What a stupid life. All I wanted I wanted to be a successful comedian in all my 20s. And now I just want to stay home and look at my Christmas tree and look at my husband and watch him fart on the couch. Maybe get a dog. You know what I mean? Live a normal fucking life. Not this fucking crazy life that I have chosen. Although, I do like it a lot. Just days like this really make me want to gouge my eyes out. And, anyways, enough of that. Mommies, you're here. You're listening to my voice. And that's all that matters. And I read all your tweets. And I'm so excited that you guys listen to the podcast and you support it. And I thank everybody that went out and bought my album. And Tommy and I, for Christmas or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or whatever it is you celebrate, we've decided to put together a package deal so that if you guys go to our websites at tomsegura.com or christinacomedy.com, for $25 you can get everything we've ever made, basically, between Tommy and me. You get my CD, you get Tommy's CD, Thrilled, you get Cutman, which is a short that he did with his friend Ryan Sickler, who you've heard on the podcast. And you also get a poster of me, a poster that I sell after, my shows, with my big fat belly hanging out. I got real fat last year, and I went down to Sears and I took fat glamour shots, and I put them on a poster, and I sell that poster after my show. And you can get that poster along with all the other crap I just said for, I believe, $25 as a package, which is a pretty good deal because that's a lot of cool stuff to get. So yeah, that'll be on our sites, and you can buy that and give it to someone you love or someone you hate, depending on how you feel about it. So there you go. There's that. Oh yeah, I wanted to say that somebody tweeted me, I don't remember who, asking why we call each other mommy. And it's funny because the person was a little, hesitant to ask, I hope I don't sound stupid, but why do you guys call each other mommy? And I think it's really funny because we've never addressed that. We've always kind of taken it as a given that people would kind of, just understand it cosmically. I don't know. But I wanted to let you guys know what the origin of the whole mommy thing is. That's my sip of my delicious coffee, my hotel room coffee. So, the origin of the mommies. I think Tom thinks he claims it, but whatever. We, back in 2007 or 2008, the Tommy, Mommy, and I, when we were just a couple of engaged little puppies, we weren't married yet, but we were living together, and in the worst ghetto of Los Angeles, we were living together off of, you should know it, off Rampart Street and 6th Street, the Rampart Division, which is notorious for police corruption, I believe in the 90s, and it was a really bad place. I found the place. I will take credit for that because I was living in Silver Lake at the time alone, and I came home from a vacation with my father. We went to the Dominican Republic, and I came home, and rats had infested my place in Silver Lake. And I fucking lost my mind, as anybody would. I think when you see, shit all over your bedding, and they had gnawed through a grapefruit that I had in my kitchen, and I was frantic to move out because I told the landlady, and she was kind of not responsive, which I think is a good reason to leave. So I found this other place in a hurry, and it was in this just ghetto neighborhood, and I mean ghetto. I mean, have you ever seen the movie Colors or trying to think, or documentaries about gangs in LA? It was we literally lived on the street in between 18th Street gang, which is a notorious Salvadorian gang, 18th Street, and I never remember the other name. Of the other gang. But we had our front of our building tagged all the time with these knuckleheads tagging their dumb gang stuff. And many gunshots were heard in that neighborhood. Many gunshots. So, anyways, the mommies. So Tommy and I were living there. This is before we were engaged. We're good Catholics, so we waited until we got engaged to live together, please. And I think it came from a discussion Tommy and I were having about the Latin use of poppy, when people call their lovers "ay papi this, papi that," and how gross that is, and just to me repulsive, because I have a father whom I love very much, and the thought of sexualizing that is just fucking disgusting. But I believe it came from that, and Tommy thought it'd be really funny to start calling me his mommy. And then I thought it would be even funnier to call him mommy. And to also use like the pronoun she, like she's having a great day. Look at her, the mommy, even though it would be in reference to him. And it started this whole thing where our family, our friends all started calling each other mommy. Mommy jeans, baby jeans, doggy jeans, just whatever. Mommy jeans, I think, was the first incarnation of it. And then I think SNL came out with a sketch for mom jeans. And then it just kind of solidified it. And yeah, and that's how that started. So I have my best friend to this day who calls me mommy. And everybody that's in our inner circle knows that we call each other mommy. And so when it came time to think of a name for our podcast, we were sitting at our kitchen table, no longer in downtown LA, in our better neighborhood now, thank God. And we were sitting around, what should we name the podcast? Will it be a cool name? And Tommy goes, why don't we just call your mom's house? Because that's what we always joke about. We're always talking about mommy this and mommy that. And I thought, wow, it's so funny. It's so dumb. And every time we say it, your mom's house, it gives us a chuckle. And it's our thing. It's our stupid little couples thing. It's what two dopey comedians who live together come up with when they're alone without prying eyes. So that's it. Now all you guys are part of the mommy game. You guys are all part of it, and it gives me a thrill like nothing else to get tweets and emails, and when we do shows and people go, "Hey, mommy," it's really funny because it's kind of a long-running personal joke in our family, in our home, and now it's cool that you guys are becoming our extended family in a way. Everybody is a mommy in their own special way. And you can be a mommy too. You don't have to be a biological mommy to be a mommy. You can just feel like a mommy. You can be her. You can dance like a mommy or just mommy out. Big mommy style. Any way your mommy wants is how you can mommy. So there you go. And that's the lore. And I gotta tell you guys, I really miss my bear when he's not around. I don't like it when my husband's not home. It's very upsetting to me because he has these things that he does. And if you're married or if you live with somebody, you know that you get used to their ways. Tommy listens to a football game. He watches a football game. And I don't even understand what's going on, but I like to hear it. I like to hear that he's in the house stomping around with his big bare feet and watching football and yelling at the TV. And, I like to see him in his little boxer shorts, scratching his crotch and just farting around like he normally does. So this last week he wasn't home and I was home, and I don't like it. I do not like it. But next week we will be together. We will go to Phoenix together, and that will be awesome. And that will be that. So, what else was I going to tell you about? Oh, yeah. Well, this is kind of gross, but you guys can handle it because, well, you're mommies, and mommies can handle all kinds of things. That's why we're mommies. So Tom and I have had this long-standing debate, I guess you would call it that, about, well, how do I phrase this? Like, when you watch an adult film, an adult feature, if you will, and sometimes women's downstairs, their nether regions look a little beaten up or look a little meaty, a little shreddy, a little beefy. My husband seems to think that is because of overuse. Like porn stars or whatever, because they use their vagina so much, it gets pounded into looking different. And I've always felt that that's kind of, is the word specious reasoning? Specious? Fallacious reasoning? Erroneous reasoning? It's not right. It doesn't make sense. Because there's no part of your physical body that if you use enough, just gets mashed down into a pulp. It's silly. My hand, because I use it to pick things up or whatever, it doesn't get worn down. it might get calluses or something, but you can't actually change the physical appearance of a body part from too much use. And that's always been my belief. But anyway, I went to my lady doctor. Don't worry, I'm not going to talk about it because it fucking horrifies me too. And I like to ask her inappropriate questions. I like to sing while she gives me an exam just to make it a little more bearable. She's like a really cool lady. Like, I would hang out with her in real life. Like, I like her as a person. But I asked her last time. I asked her about male gynecologists because I think personally that any dude that wants to be a gynecologist, it just kind of fucking weirds me out. It's a little weird beard. Because I know, like, guys, straight guys, they like vaginas, but to look at them all day, every day, it just seems a little much. It's too much. I mean, I like penises, but I wouldn't want to look at them all day, every day, especially sickly ones or ones with problems. Like, it's just not, I don't know. I'm so delirious. I can't even fucking think, but it's not good. Okay. So I asked my female gynecologist about male gynecologists, and she thought they were kind of creepy too. But I also asked her if the theory my husband has that the more use a vagina gets, the more beaten up it looks. And she said that that's not really possible. That the only thing that can really alter that part of a woman is childbirth, to actually push a human being through that part of the body, and genetics. So if genetically your nether regions look like a beefy pastrami mess, then that's just your lot in life. You're always going to have a beefy pastrami mess downstairs. But, so there you go. That would be bad reasoning on my husband's part, which is common with him. He's kind of a dope. I can't believe I just talked about porn star vaginas. I don't know. I don't understand that whole line of work. It's so hard. It's so crazy. I mean, Sam Tripoli and I have always talked about how porn stars and comedians are slightly similar. In that, I think that there needs to be a certain level of damage, especially to females, to female comics in particular. I'm the first to admit that for a woman to do what we do, to tell jokes, it's a very masculine thing for me to stand up in front of an audience and to, hold this phallus in my hand and then talk about dude type issues. It's a weird thing. It's not what most girls do. And I can only say from my experience, I know why I do it, and it's between me and my psychotherapist, but I do it because of the way I was brought up. I was not brought up traditionally girly, I guess you could say. Nobody told me I was a pretty princess, and I wasn't raised thinking that was a cool way to be. I guess I always liked what the guys were doing more. I always liked my dad's Hungarian friends coming over on a Sunday, getting drunk, and telling inappropriate jokes. I like that so much more than I like the women in the kitchen who were cooking and talking about fashion. It bored me to shit to watch them, so I always wanted to do what the boys are doing. But I digress. Porn stars, strippers, and comedians are similar in that there's a level of you need to express something. There's something going on inside of you, as with any artist, as with anybody. And strippers and porn stars use their bodies and their physical being to express that, whereas comedians, we use words, and we use shit jokes, sometimes not very smart words, to convey that which is inside of us, that which is troubling us, I guess. So for a while, I used to kind of judge strippers. I'd be like, oh, it's so dumb. It's not, it's not like cool or it's not feminist or whatever. But I don't know. I'm starting to change my opinion on it. I think as long as you're aware of what you're doing and why, and you're in control of it, it's kind of cool. Kind of works. There is a stripper named Malice who was at Sam Tripoli's Naughty Show last week, who I loved, because she had like a mohawk and like leopard spots on the side of her head, and she was all crazy tatted up with like goth and punk stuff, and I thought, oh, so cool. That chick's so crazy. But she seemed to have a pretty good grasp on what she was doing. You can't fault somebody for that, right? You can't. You just can't, guys. Ah, sorry, I had to pause it for a minute. I had to drink my coffee. I'm so delirious. I have no idea how I'm gonna perform tonight. Wow, it's days like this. I wish we were in studio because we have so many exciting things to play for you guys. Things that listeners have sent in that just are making me laugh like crazy. But next time, we're going to save it and we're going to play it all, and you guys are going to shit laughing because I will shit laughing. Oh, man. I don't know why I've been thinking about this all day today, but I went to Afghanistan back in was it June? I celebrated my birthday in Kyrgyzstan this year. But yeah, I went to Afghanistan, and it's really one of those life-changing trips. And I came back very traumatized and very like Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver. I was very just like, what the fuck, man? You know, you look around at people and in our lives and just how easy we have it and how great we have it. And I don't know, I came back kind of chastising myself even for caring about the shit that I care about. Like right now, I'm sitting in my hotel room bitching because, I have to go tell shit jokes to strangers for money. And I don't know, it was cool to go to Afghanistan because now when I sit in my room and I think like, oh, pity me, I have to go do this, I always think, yeah, well, life could be a lot fucking worse right now. I could be in Afghanistan again. I could be in a terrible military base. It's just dust and dirt. I don't know if any of you have ever been in the military, but God bless you if you do that. It's such a hard road. It's I don't know. I kind of understand the mindset of people who go to war, who fight, of soldiers. I can't really say I know everything. I don't, but I understand the need for thrill. I understand the need for something outside of just everyday life, believe me. I mean, that's why I do what I do, but I respect the shit out of these guys and women that go to Afghanistan, these Marines. They go out in the middle of nowhere, they dig a ditch, and then they live in that ditch for days and days. They don't shower. I don't even know how they live. They eat these prepackaged crummy food things. And then the best part of Afghanistan, one that changed my life forever, is that when you shit, when you gotta go brown, when you gotta go boom, take it to Browntown. You don't just go. There isn't just a nice little latrine. There's no marble toilets in Afghanistan on military bases. There's no really porta potty that's ideal. Because even if there is a porta potty, it's just cooked in the sun. It's 140 fucking degrees. It just smells. I mean, there were days I prayed for a hot, stinky porta potty. But the worst of it is on some of these bases, I went to a base where it was like just a small group of Marines, and it was where Prince Harry, I guess, Lottie Dottie, what's his name? Prince Harry. Is he the one that's in the military? I don't know. One of those two fucking overprivileged white kids, these royalty boys, went in the military, and I was at the base that one of them were at, and we had lunch. We had some I think MRE food, which is like prepackaged, 35,000 calories, locks into your guts and sticks with you for like a week so that you don't have to shit when you're out in war. And I ate one of these, and it had the opposite effect. And I had to shit immediately after I ate one of these MREs. And here I am on this base, And I'm not shy when it comes to admitting that I gotta drop a deuce. And I ask our guide, hey man, I gotta shit, where do I shit? And he goes, well, come with me. So you follow a guy with a rifle. First of all, there's guys with rifles everywhere. When you're telling jokes to a group of dudes holding rifles, which is crazy. Anyway, get the rifle, really nice guy, takes me to what looks like a porta potty, but is not in fact a functional porta potty. It's just like a box, and he stands guard, and he tells me to go in there, and he pulls out some kind of a box packaging, and I forget what they're called. They're called wag bags, W-A-G, wag bag. And he goes, they take the plastic bag out, put it over the hole here, the fucking makeshift toilet, and that's where you do your thing in. You take a brown, and then I'll show you what to do after. And I was like, cool, man. All right, here we go. And there's two choices. Either I can hold in this shit. It's 120-some degrees hot as balls out in Afghanistan. I can hold in this shit until I get back to our main base camp, which could take I don't know how long. And not only that, if I hold in this shit, I'm going to have to get on a helicopter in like an hour or two. And those helicopters, they have to fly in like wonky patterns to avoid enemy fire. So you're not just going like on a dainty little helicopter ride. It's like a severe helicopter ride. So here I am. I got to shit. It's Sophie's choice. Either I shit in the bag or I shit in my pants later on a helicopter. So I'm like, fuck it. I do it. I shit in this bag. Marine, I know he knows that I'm done. So the Marine goes, all right, let's go. Let's get rid of the bag. I'm like, great. So he's like, pick it up. I'm like, what? Pick it up. I had to pick up my own bag of shit. And then I got to walk over to a fire pit. And the fire pit smells like the worst thing. Like India smells bad. No, wait. I'm sorry, Africa. I've been to Africa, and Africa smells bad. It just smells like rotting flesh and despair and everything that's bad in the world is what Africa smells like. But this is worse than Africa. This fire pit of human shit. And apparently the Marines, when you took a dump, you used to put it into a steel drum and put diesel fuel on it, I think he said, and then they burn up the shit with fuel, and some guy has to stir the pot. That's his job, to stir up a pot of shit in the desert, or wherever you're fighting. Sorry, probably in Vietnam. But anyways, now instead of burning drums of shit, they throw shit bags into fire. And I had to walk up my bag of shit, chuck it into the fire, and I fucking missed because the wind picked up at that moment. So the best part is I got to go pick up my bag of shit again and throw that. Damn it, I was in the middle of telling a brilliant story, and then I got a phone call on my iPhone when I was recording this, and like a dum-dum, I didn't know I'm supposed to put this on airplane mode. So, second part of the story. I threw my bag of shit. I missed, but I picked up my bag of shit, and I threw it into the fire, and I made it. And I just want you guys to remember that story when you're feeling blue, when you're feeling like you can't do what you got to do today. Maybe you're tired, maybe you're worried, maybe you have fear. I want you to remember this story about Christina Pajitsky in Afghanistan when she took a shit into a plastic bag and she threw it into fire. And just know that that's a metaphor for you and anything you want to do in life. You can throw anything you want into a shit fire and make it a positive experience. So there you go, mommies. I'm going to go now. I'm going to go tell some jokes to people. And I hope you guys have a great holiday. If I don't get to talk to you before then, Merry Christmas. And I hope Santa Claus brings you everything you want. And, yeah, guys, keep it real, okay? Okay. Bye, mommies!